Everybody's up in arms about Robert Downey Jr. being Dr. Doom.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Well, there is a comic version where Tony Stark is Doom. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. Thanks very much for joining us. If you're watching here on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and at the end we want you to comment. Let us know what you thought about this episode and some of the things that we covered. And if you are listening on your favorite podcast app, or maybe you're watching even on Spotify, you can do that now too. We thank you for joining us and following us there as well. So we're going to jump into this episode. Brandon is here and he is fresh. He's back fresh from San Diego Comic-Con. He goes every year. He's one of the celebrities that walks the halls. Brandon is raring to go. John can't wait to hear his stories.
You're so stupid.
I'm excited to hear the stories of San Diego Comic-Con.
You're so stupid.
Brandon wears his 5 Idiots t-shirt and hat, and he hires out-of-work actors to walk behind him with a giant sign with an arrow. This is Brandon from 5 Idiots.
He spent our entire budget on the Hawk Tua girl to go with him this time.
$30,000.
Yeah. It paid off, let me tell you.
Yeah. All right, so...
wouldn't that be something, huh?
How
What's an action figure? I don't even know what that is.
Oh, she knows what it is.
Y'all know what I mean? So what's the we're going to jump right in, but first, what does the day look like for you? How close is the convention center to you? You know, what's your morning like getting there?
It's like a 20-minute drive from my house to downtown.
Okay.
You got to get there early. If you don't get there early and get in line, then you're waiting a little while just to get in because they open the doors somewhat early, get the lines built, and then they open certain doors and they kind of filter people in. Usually they open, the normal start if you're not there for preview night is about 9:30 in the morning. I used to get there when I first started going pretty early to try to, get ahead on some toy hunts, but since the majority of Comic-Con is not vintage toys, I have since tapered that back a little bit, and I just show up at 9:45, 10 o'clock, and I just walk in and don't have to wait in line. So,
yeah, I have to believe there's a lot of doors they open, but there's some special doors they open for you. I mean, you don't wait.
Of course, I get red carpet treatment, and
you don't wait with the common folk.
No, never.
Right. All right. Very good. All right. Well, let's. I'm gonna hand the reins over to you for sure, and take us where you'd like to through your through what you saw, what the highlights were, and what stood out.
I want to focus on the Star Wars toy lines that I got to see there. Mainly with Hasbro this year and what Hasbro had to offer. I did sit through the Hasbro panel, the Star Wars panel. I did walk around the Hasbro booth quite a few times. I took some videos. I got some pictures from the panel. Got some stuff on there that I'd like to share with everybody. Some of the stuff that I saw, some of the stuff that I liked, some of the stuff that I didn't like. And let's go over that, mainly focus on that. There isn't a whole lot of vintage stuff at Comic-Con. So if people are, and I was hunting for some toys there. There was about 3 or 4 vintage vendors there that did have some nice items, but nothing out of this world. And obviously, you're paying Comic-Con prices. So it costs anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 for a small booth to sell there. So, the vendors do need to get their money somehow. So they might up some of their prices. But, I mean, it's a good way to sell some of your toys, too. I did see, some vintage guys selling some beater figures for $10 a piece. So, Usually, I already know all the vintage vendors there because they go every year, and I know them from outside of Comic-Con anyway, so I know if they're going to be there or not. But there was about 3-ish vintage vendors this year, and nothing too crazy out of this world. I did pick up one piece that I will share for a wins and whiffs episode because I was kind of shocked to find it there, but then from the guy who I bought it from, I'm not too shocked since he has some of the some of the weird items anyway. So, if you're looking for vintage, I wouldn't go to Comic-Con. It's not the place for you. If you're looking for new releases, exclusives, comics, pop culture, if you want to see the latest, the Marvel panel, the Alien panel, DC panel, some of the latest movies that are coming out, SpongeBob, and whatever. If you want to go see all that stuff and walk around in the Hulu experiences and the IMDb, ship and all that. If you want to do all that, all the offsite stuff, then that's what you do at Comic-Con. But vintage toys is not so much.
Are there independent toy vendors there? Is there a lot of that, or is it? I mean, I wasn't even aware that there were, independent booths there. Like I just assumed it was almost like a New York toy show or the New York toy exhibit, that they do every year, where they're really showcasing new stuff coming out. I guess it's a lot of everything.
So the center of Comic-Con has Lucasfilm, Hasbro, Mattel, Marvel, all that kind of stuff, McFarlane, all that stuff, and they are there to showcase the newer items and all the preview stuff. And then if you're facing Comic-Con on the left, you have like all the Artist Alley stuff, all the people that are drawing stuff and books and all that kind of stuff, the people that are making crafts and all that. And then to the right, right of center is all the vendors that are selling t-shirts, pops, vintage toys, new toys. And then up against the walls you'll have like Upper Deck and Nintendo or Pokemon or whatever. It's there's just stuff everywhere. So but they do a good job kind of separating the modern stuff from the vintage stuff and the vendors from the show, like you were just mentioning there, the toy and the release, everything that's being released, because Comic-Con is designed to display everything that is getting released, all the movies, the TV shows, the new toys, the new comics, the new everything that's coming out. And it's a good way to display all that. So they bring all that to the table, and they do a good job of putting that all on display and showing which so they had Lucasfilm had the clothing from all the costumes and lightsabers and blasters and all that from the latest Disney Star Wars show on display. So
what is that called?
What is it, John? Shows you I didn't even look at it that much because I really wasn't.
I heard, John was telling me yesterday he was so jealous you got to see all of the fabrics and clothing from the Acolyte.
And the wig, and the wigs.
The wigs, yeah.
Wigs, yeah.
John, you're not wearing your wig.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm wearing my 5 Idiots Talking Toys toupee.
All right. Well, I'm going to just mention while we're still a little early in this episode, please, if you'd like to support the show more than just hitting the subscribe button, please go to patreon.com/5 Idiots Talking Toys. We have a bunch of benefits there for the folks who follow us, as well as early access to all of our episodes and the collectibles that will go up for sale on our page, Rogue 5 Toys. So check that out. We appreciate all the supporters, all the patrons. Thank you for following. And Brandon, I'll tell you, you mentioned those vintage figures. At first, $10 a loose figure. You're like, what? Then I thought about it for a second. I'm not mad about that. Like, forget about the fact that the guy paid a ton for the booth. You're going to get people to a San Diego Comic-Con who don't go to other toy shows. You're going to get people who go to that as for the event it is. And you're going to get people who are going to see those and be like, oh my God, I haven't seen that in 30 years. Yep. They're not going to have a problem paying $10 for whatever figure catches their eye.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're going to love it. They're going to enjoy it. They're going to go put it in a drawer on a shelf. And the guy helps pay for his booth. He makes a few bucks. And they're never going to know it should be $4 instead of $10. So
Exactly,
it works
and
out for
that's-
everybody.
That's why it's you know, you got to pay a lot of money, but if you're selling vintage toys, you're probably doing pretty well.
Yeah. Hey,
Unless
you
it's
hope, yeah.
unless it's He-Man or Masters of the Universe, and nobody cares about that.
All right. So where do you want to start? You want to start with the photos, some
Yeah,
video?
you throw up a couple photos, maybe the videos of the Hasbro booth. I specifically took some videos of some of the newer toys. Yes, John.
I had a quick question. Was it pretty Deadpool Wolverine heavy this year? Since that was the most highly anticipated film coming out.
Yes, they had a huge panel on Friday. Right? No. Thursday. Huge panel on Thursday where they gave tickets away, a lottery system to sit in Hall H and watch the movie.
Oh, wow.
So they got a preview of the movie, and then they did a drone show after, and you can probably look up these images online. The drone show is, I think it won the world record for the most drones doing a show where whatever. I mean, I didn't send you guys these. I can show you this picture on my phone. I was nowhere near it, but I managed to snag a couple photos from where I was walking from. Let's see if I can pull this up.
You see these special effects, John?
It's amazing. Oh my god. Are you using drones for that?
I just set a world record, actually. I just beat San Diego Comic-Con for the number of colors.
I mean,
oh, wow.
Look at this.
It's amazing.
Wait. Oh wow. That's
Deadpool's
cool.
face. That's a drone.
Good grief.
Oh wow.
Those are all drones?
Yeah, that's above the building.
Yeah, get him in the big.
I mean, you can't see it that well, but
yeah, that's cool.
That's amazing.
Those are people waiting in line. That's a tree to the left there, and that's Deadpool's face.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the movie yet?
Not yet.
I have not been to a theater in the last time was 40th anniversary of Jedi.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is cool. I went with my buddies to see the movie on Saturday. It was good. The story is there's not a lot of story to it. That's not the point, but it's funny. Tons of action, tons of cursing and ridiculous language, and it was a good time. It's a good movie. It's a fun time.
So yeah, there was a lot of Deadpool, Wolverine, Marvel. You know, they did the panel. They gave people popcorn buckets, popcorn to watch the movie. The stars were there. They had the drone show after. Marvel's, normal booth had nothing but Deadpool, Wolverine, crap all over it, and
yeah,
all that. So,
all right. Well, let me
Deadpool,
throw
Wolverine centric.
Let me throw one of these things up.
So, let's see here.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Target spotted.
You gotta check out. That was close. You want to? Sorry, man.
No dog by the pool. Wherever I go, he goes. Did you know?
Is that John?
No idea.
It's John.
Hey!
I didn't tell anybody, but yeah, it's me.
Let me see your identification. I'm just messing around. Here you go.
Nice.
So that's one of the videos I took there. That's from the Haslab, the Star Wars Hasbro panel. Promoting their helmets that they have coming out. So,
I got your Evite, Brandon.
Yeah,
for your helmet party. So I'll let you know.
That's good.
Yeah.
Feel free just to wear the helmet, nothing else. That's how my buddies go.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
That's the panel.
Is this the same one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Next video I have here.
One, so we know we're going right up to that moment. And
there's the new Andor mold.
very cool. And
Okay.
obviously,
And you know how these figures did before, and none of them really sold, but they were promoting the new. Oh, he's like, they've got a new jacket. He's got a new outfit on, and now they're releasing this for season 2 of Andor. So, people thought, and they were like, oh, okay, but so basically how these things work, they'll, introduce the people up on the stage, and then they'll go through the previews of what's being, coming out in the next year or so, and what they're working on. Right. So they'll describe, what the figure is and where it's from and what's different about it, and any kind of different articulation that they have, like the new Mando that they designed. They said he's got the barbell hips or something like that, which allows it to ride something a lot easier than a typical figure, which would not allow it. It's basically, think of a biker scout sitting on top of a bike, but you can't straddle it like you should. Well, now he can, because they do the barbell hips, and they're doing that with the Mando. So they just go through stuff like that and explain some of the things that they're doing. But strictly all Star Wars, and they go through all the different figure lines that they're doing. Black Series, TVC, and then, helmets and lightsabers and stuff like that. So
yeah. I had a roommate in college who knew a girl with barbell hips, and she could ride a lot of different things as well.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Hope they made an action figure of her.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
I think the Star Wars line is kind of.
So this is the first look at the Haslab Cantina. This is from the Hasbro booth, so they had it on display. So it's a first look at that. For those that ordered them. Here's a live look at what it looks like
twins.
In person. Those are all the.
Who is that?
The stretch goals there were those extra figures on top there. The guy with 4 arms and Greedo, and then some other asshole.
but that guy's not the spy, right? Like who?
No, it's one of the Cantina patrons.
Okay,
one of the denizens.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look for him, but.
People are really
twins are cool.
Stoked about the Tonica sisters, because that's the first offering for TVC for those. So expect those to go for a lot of money.
Yeah, those are cool. I like how they're in in different colors and everything. All right, let's see. I think we got another one of these. Is this the same? No, this is a little different. There we go. Get a little
zooming in there.
Really focusing on the twins.
Yeah,
couple of sets of twins.
On as a short.
Do they have barbell hips?
John, do you know about the barbell hips?
Not firsthand, no.
No. Okay. Yeah, me neither. Secondhand for me. Okay. And then I don't want to skip around too much in terms of I know you got some other stuff beyond Star Wars. So let's see what this looks like. Nope. Stop showing that. How dare you?
Whoa, why are you showing that?
I don't know. Here we go.
Okay, Star Wars.
These were some of the releases that were announced during the panel. This is a video of them up close and personal.
That's pretty cool. That's cool.
So these are all new releases that are coming out this year. The Armor and her little shop with the little helmets there. I find that really cool. The Blurg and Mando with barbell hips. So if you notice behind the Blurg there, the packaging, they're really focusing on the packaging now. The Blurg now comes with a figure and the Blurg in that kind of packaging. But in another video, which I think you'll have, they announced a certain character that a lot of people like. And instead of going with this packaging that you see here of the Blurg with Mando, they went with the more traditional packaging of making a larger bubble or blister to put the figure and all his accessories in, because they're trying to get away from doing this cardboard box thing that wasn't well received. They'd rather have the figures put in with a blister so you can see them a little bit better. So I was going to say I'm surprised that they're still using this closed box for I think they're doing it for like vehicles or animals like the Blurg.
Okay,
but see this, I think that's the barbell hip Mandalorian there.
What character are you talking about?
Oh, you'll see.
Will I?
What is a jetpack trooper?
Jedi Survivor, one of the games.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty cool looking trooper, though.
Yeah.
Look at that! Look at that
Oh, really?
Mando symbol on the wall.
I like that playset right there, though. The
Yeah, it's
armor
pretty
playset. It's pretty cool.
It would be cool if it like had actual flames in it, like a lighter or something.
So they really discussed the blue things that are on the pit there. Those blue plastic.
Do they light up?
No, but if the light catches them just right, they'll glow.
Oh, okay. See, like I have like two. I have one or two of those. Do you remember those Black series that they released, but they are statues?
Yeah.
They're not figures. They're like actual action scenes.
Yeah.
I have the one of Luke with the lightsaber climbing over the foot of the AT-AT, and it's pretty awesome because it's got explosions, and you hit the button and it lights up, and you'll stay on for a couple minutes, and it looks like literally, like red explosion with smoke and everything. It looks really cool. That's what it made me think of, is that they have had some other lighted pieces. All right, and we got the armorer back there, and I guess her workbench. She's got a little anvil.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And let me jump to this one. I'm going to take the sound out because it's not really going to add much, but
So
Wow, are those soft good?
There's your TBC, and there's the figure that everyone's excited about.
Cobb Vanth is the best.
Now let's look at the size of that blister. So the whole card is a lot bigger than the normal card.
Is that the 6-inch or is that the?
No, that's 3 3/4.
Really? Are those soft goods too?
I don't know.
I don't know what he has behind him there. I don't know if that bandana looks like it's not soft, but I don't know if he has something behind him.
Ron looked like he was wearing a uniform. Like soft goods.
No, those are. I think that's all plastic.
It's all plastic. Wow.
You know what's funny is I got a
Shane, if you want to rewind back, I can talk through them.
Yeah, I will. I got a T-shirt when Mando first came out, and it's a Mandalorian on the top T-shirt, and it's got a shot of Boba Fett. I think it was from season 2. Around then I got it, and it took me a while, like a couple of weeks after I bought it, that I realized it's not Boba Fett on the T-shirt. It's Cobb Vanth, because it's him wearing the armor with the rest of his clothing underneath it. It's not Boba Fett with the black pants. So it's like, unbeknownst to me, I got a Cobb Vanth T-shirt. It's pretty awesome. All right, here.
So there's a 6-inch, the Acolyte, one of the Jedi there, and then there's this little fuzzy bear thing, I guess, from the Acolyte as well.
Yeah, I don't even know. I didn't even finish watching.
There's Andor 6-inch. I felt like a lot of people weren't too thrilled about the 6-inch there.
Yeah.
In general. There's that girl from Andor.
Oh, that's pretty cool though. The IG-11 with the
baby inside. Well, that thing opens inside. Up. Yeah, the thing opens, and it comes with the little dudes by his feet there.
Okay.
Oh, the little Babu Frick guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
He's holding one in his hand, so that's IG-12 now, and he's holding Babu Frick in his hand, and the other one's down on the floor there.
So is that like a deluxe figure?
I guess, yeah.
Probably. That's pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, it's a nice figure. And then there's this guy that they were really excited about.
Who's that guy? What is he from?
I don't know.
Is he like an ARC trooper or something?
Something like that. People were super excited about it. I think the people
cool.
that were like displaying the figures, like the announcing the figures during the panel, were like, "Oh, I'm so happy to finally do this figure. It was one of my favorites," and and it's like, "Cool, dude, it's one of your favorites." It's a pretty cool looking figure.
It is.
And then 6-inch Ahsoka. There's like a million of them. Okay, I think we're all Ahsoka'd out at this point.
Yeah.
And then there's a 3 3/4 Ahsoka there from
the kid
planet.
From that's the 3 3/4. Okay,
yeah,
that's the 6-inch. I was going to say maybe that's the Ahsoka from Clone Wars when they flash back.
I didn't take a picture. Well, they just flash it up on the screen so fast, but they're making an Anakin figure of the dream that she had. Remember in Ahsoka where she was like going through this dream world and Anakin was trying to talk to her or whatever? Mm-hmm. They're making that figure of Anakin. So a lot of people like freaked out about that because everybody has a hard on for Hayden Christensen now. So
Yeah, I know. Like the poor guy lived for 20 years. Everybody bashing him, and now they love him.
Grand Admiral Thrawn and the likeness from the show, which it looked pretty good, and everybody loves Admiral Thrawn. So,
Grand Admiral Brandon, please.
Strong
General Spawn.
He didn't fly around the galaxy killing people for years to be called Admiral Thrawn. Okay.
True.
Yeah.
Are those the painted boots? Is it the painted boots version?
Oh, I don't know. It's a good question.
Green hair, I think actually. So
Cobb Vanth, where everybody's pretty excited about a 3 3/4 inch Cobb Vanth. So finally,
have they done a Cobb Vanth yet?
I think for Black Series.
Black Series, that's sweet. I also love this character even more. Like I was in love with this character right off the bat because I just love the actor. I mean, like Deadwood is one of my favorite shows, so just seeing him on the screen
is just really cool. It's
just so cool. Yeah. He's basically a cowboy.
Yeah,
which you loved him as in Deadwood, and he's basically a Star Wars cowboy. It's just awesome. He's in the Star Wars version of a Deadwood town.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I'm going to jump over now to some masks or helmets. Let's see.
Helmets, and here's one of the action figure sets with a bunch of Mandos in it, and there's what's his name's helmet? Moff Gideon's helmet. Which is pretty sweet.
Oh, I thought that was one of the Mando helmets. Okay,
it's Moff Gideon's. Pretty sweet.
Because there's a couple of Mandos that have the spikes on top. That's where it threw me for a second. But those spiked Mando helmets are pretty sweet. And is that a saber back there? Is that the dark saber? I don't know. I don't think it's hard to tell.
It's like an Ahsoka saber, maybe.
Oh, Ahsoka, yeah. Oh, right, because she has the curved, the hilt. Yeah. So these are some of the Mandalorians.
Yeah, from this set that they're releasing.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, the Mandalorian She-Hulk.
I love that packaging. That's always
Is that the Mandalorian Hawk Tua? No, that's something different. Okay.
Those are the Mandalorians that went after the big skin featherless bird.
Oh yeah. Somebody on this show hates that bird. Who was it?
I do.
Charles, I think. Or no, Christopher. Somebody was so mad they were going after that bird, they couldn't let it go.
Yeah.
All right, and we got another saber there.
I'm with you, Brandon. Though I like that packaging because it harkens back to the multi-packs.
Yeah, for sure.
The KB multi-packs.
Who is that? Can you make that out?
Actually, it's KB and Kmart too. Didn't Kmart do the multi-packs as well back in the day?
I don't know.
I think Kmart did.
Say that again.
Kmart.
Yes, they did. They did the ones from the early 2000s where they released this. I actually have a couple of those. I love those packs. I love the 3-packs.
Yeah.
I wish I could afford a vintage 3-pack. If I can get one for a decent price, I'll try to buy it. But I've always loved those.
Yeah,
no matter which one, I'm just trying to get my hands on a normal 3-pack. But they're all so pricey. Yeah. I saw them back in 2016 in Japan. I saw a few of them at a store that I went to, and I probably should have bought them then, but they were still really high in price. But
that is
I paid for Star Wars to die, and then I'll buy one.
I figured it out. That's Sabine Wren.
Yeah,
that's Sabine's saber. It's cool. So, and then that's obviously it's right next to her helmet. That would have helped me out. Let's jump into your photos.
Hey, there he is, Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter. How does he look?
Looks the same.
He looks old, right?
He looks exactly the same.
I've seen some pictures the last few years. He looks like he's getting up there.
And me and my son waited in line, and we got a picture with him, and he signed a couple of autographs. It was,
nice.
My son had no idea who he was, but for me, I was like, "That's Sergeant Slaughter."
Yeah, yeah, because he was like crossover, WWE and then GI Joe. So yeah.
So getting back into Star Wars here, this is the exclusive for this year. Darth Maul with his speeder, and this is where I started to fall off the wagon a little bit. Because they're really excited. Oh, yeah, Darth Maul and speeder, the 6-inch version. We get to, and I was like, you guys already made this. Like you made this, back in the 90s for the, or late 90s for the new movie, right? You made the speeder with him, and it didn't sell then. So is it going to sell now? The answer is no. It was the exclusive for this year for Star Wars, and by the end of the show, there were stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks.
Really?
And stacks.
I was going to say, I think you're wrong.
By the end of the show, you didn't need a lottery ticket. You could walk up and buy. Some of the stuff was sold out already, but if you wanted one of these, you could have as many as you wanted by the end of the show. There was no line at the Hasbro booth. You could just walk right up midday on Sunday and buy whatever you want, from one of these. So
Darth Maul was one of the more popular, earlier Black Series, and it was the most expensive one for a couple of years.
How much do you think this is?
Well, they re-released it though as the that extra collection, that blister collection, and killed the value of it. So
how much
were
think
these?
This one is?
Oh my God, this had to be $54.99.
Negative $60.
What? All right, well, I'm in the ballpark. I knew with that speeder, I just knew it had to, and the extra
$60.
It's too much, man. Listen, a figure. What do the figures go for now? They're 25, right? They went up.
Yeah.
So if a figure is 25, and some of their deluxe figures are 35, 40, and up, I mean, okay, fine. You added a speeder bike. It doesn't add $35. That's too much.
Yeah, no, I didn't like it.
No, this has to be $49.99 maximum, like really 45. And I mean, that's just it's a money grab. I mean, come on. All right, so okay.
So this is where I really fell off the wagon.
Again?
They were like, "Oh, we're so happy."
He climbed back up and he fell down again.
Hasbro PulseCon exclusive. I think there's another Hasbro show they put on or something like that, right? So they're really excited about coming out with this, and I was like, I can't even give somebody this thing. The one from the, this was apparently the first release. They kind of snuck this in before the movie came out as like one of the first releases for Hasbro / Kenner for the Phantom Menace, right? So when they were coming out with a new show or the new movie, they released this first as kind of like a preview figure. And now, and they came out on the Power of the Force, the green box, if you remember, they had like a cellophane in front of it.
Oh yeah.
And
yep,
nobody wanted this thing. I mean, I had 10 of these things. I couldn't even give them away. So.
I have the Jedi speeders in that green.
I think I sold this at the flea market for like $2. So they're really excited about re-releasing this, and I'm just like shaking my head. I was like, why are you guys re-releasing the same garbage that nobody wanted to begin with? And you're gonna charge an arm and a leg for it, right? So, I mean, a lot of people love it. I'm not interested in it. I think it's trash, but. They could spend their time maybe not re-releasing some of this stuff, and maybe just how about you make something new and you put something new out that
mini rigs.
Oh yeah, I mean you could do a 6-inch mini rig. I think would be a lot nicer than some of this crap.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a great idea, John. You should take credit for that. So here's a picture of the panel. They had 4 Hasbro workers here. The lady on the left is the moderator, and the guy all the way to the right is the Lucasfilm. He's the liaison to ensure that Hasbro and Lucasfilm are not too far apart in certain items. So, there's the 4-pack that I already showed you guys with the live picture there. But
it's an Amazon exclusive.
Yeah. My dad came to Comic-Con with me for that day, and he had never been, and I was like, hey, let's go to the Hasbro panel. So he was like sitting through this panel. He was blown away by, because he's collected toys back in the day, and that's where I got my collecting disease from. And we used to collect Star Wars back in the 80s and 90s, and so he's familiar with all this collecting and all that stuff. So he was like, "Oh, look, it's an Amazon exclusive." Like, he's like, "Really? Amazon and all these companies now are starting." I was like, "Yeah, Dad. I mean, you can't go to Toys R Us anymore or Walmart or Target and buy this stuff. You have to go to different websites that have different stuff. You can't just find a 4-pack at Target anymore. You got to go know where it's going to be released and what date it's going to be released, and you're fighting people for it. And if it's released in the stores, you're fighting the scalpers that are trying to go and buy it and then list it on eBay and all that stuff. So nothing's changed really. It's just whatever venue they're releasing these at. So
yeah.
The helmet on the right, the stranger from the Acolyte. So that's a pretty cool one. I think a lot of people like that.
See, now I feel like I'm so out of it. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't like being completely out of it. I gotta go watch this show.
Yeah, normally I call the stranger. It's called something else.
My hands asleep.
Yeah. Brandon drives home with his hand under his leg, and then he gets home. Yeah. So all right, moving on.
There's a picture of the Haslab Cantina. They met their metric. They got a bunch of people to buy it, and now they have it for sale.
Yep.
One of the Acolyte characters. The packaging, I think they're doing a round turn on the packaging here. I think it looks pretty good. I'm not a big fan of the back. Too much of the crap on the back.
Oh,
but I like the letters on the front view. I think is kind of nice with like the writing on the side there.
Yeah. Who the
Jedi Order? That's what it is.
Basil? Jedi Order tracker. All right, moving on. Here's my funny take on this is that when they first released this figure, right? Obviously, he was a main character in Rogue One. He wasn't an ancillary character, but he was just one of those peg warmers where it was like, okay, he's a guy, scruffy face, and he's got a leather jacket. Okay. I mean, really, he was essentially, Han Solo in some regards, right? Like Han Solo came out and, he's more charismatic than this guy, but leather jacket, nothing too exciting, but he was very popular. But the funny thing is he was a peg warmer for all that 2 years of Rogue One, and then he gets his own show, and he was kind of a peg warmer character, but he gets his own show, and everybody really, really does like Cassian Andor. It's just that it's not a super exciting toy figure. Mm-mm. And the show Andor was not really for kids. Mm-mm. And there was nothing, unique about him. And so, like Brandon's right, re-releasing him, I don't know, man. I don't know how that's going to go.
I don't know. Someone, like I said, re-releasing those droid
Deca, not the droid Decas,
those droid guys on the little speeder, and Darth Maul on a speeder for exclusive. I was like, come on.
I don't know. People usually Darth Maul though. They have tattoos and stuff.
I'm tempted to buy exclusives every once in a while.
Yeah.
Now Hasbro, there's no such thing as exclusive. The same thing as, and people were like freaking out about Mattel exclusives. I was like, people, I didn't get these. I was like, hey, you can order this online during the show, right? Like,
yep.
Really? I'm like, yeah, just like these exclusives from Hasbro, you can get them online.
Yeah, just about everything. It seemed like
there's certain things that are limited to the show with however many pieces, and that's it. That's an exclusive. These are just early releases at the show, so I could go on right now, and these are already for sale. Or the Mattel ones are already for sale. And now that you might need to wait a month or so before they release that the Darth Maul with a speeder on their website. But so yeah, here fan channel and Amazon exclusive Blurg and the Mandalorian. So if you're looking for this at Target, you're not going to find it. But really cool. Hasbro plus Disney store. All the Disney stores near me closed, so I wonder where you're going to find that.
Yeah, at Disney.
Now you get a Force Elite lightsaber for this guy. Here's two figures that they're going to be releasing soon.
Okay.
So they wouldn't make them yet.
What's her name? Like Shah Ati or something
like that.
Yeah.
Shoddy.
What up, Shah Ati?
And the picture that I didn't take was the one where they showed Anakin as the Force Ghost, where he was there with Ahsoka. So they're coming out with a lot of different.
Oof.
Then there's this. Guess what? It got funded within
Rattler. The Rattler. It got funded in like 11 hours or less. Something like
it got funded from when they released it at the show to when I walked out. It was funded already.
Yep. People were going nuts.
This thing is badass.
It looks pretty
now
awesome.
Is that the classified or is that the
classified
6-inch carded ones?
I don't know, John.
No, it's classified. Yeah, that looks really sweet. Look at all the extras, like the ladder.
Yeah,
the runway.
So that gunner, the one on the left there, that's the gunner that sits in the back. He's another tier. Awesome. The pilot comes with it, and then that's the pilot there, and then what's her name? Baroness comes as another tier.
Jeez, I don't even collect GI Joe, but this I would love to have this. This thing looks awesome.
Yeah,
looks really nice.
So that was a show and a panel release. So people freaked out when that came out, and a lot of people taking pictures and videos of it.
Wow,
it's cool. Look at all the extra pieces it comes with, the faces and the helmets.
So this gets into a little bit more about what I thought about the booth itself. Now, Hasbro had a different booth last year where they had like an area where you could interact with the Hasbro people a little bit more, and a lot of more giveaways, a lot of toy giveaways. I almost got the entire collection of the Indiana Jones figures, the re-release, the vintage line or whatever. The retro line of Indiana Jones. I almost got the whole line because they were just giving them away. Right. So this year they didn't really do that. There wasn't mainly because their booth, they had to have the Hasbro store within their booth there, as opposed to last year. The Hasbro store was outside of Comic-Con, like in a different part of downtown San Diego. You could visit it and buy the toys there. But this year the store was incorporated in the booth, and unfortunately did not allow for a lot of display. Like these are the only displays, like Star Wars, Dungeons and Dragons, G.I. Joe had a display, Transformers had a display, but it was a little smaller this year, a lot more crowded, not enough stuff on display. So that a perfect example would be the Cantina. So in years past, the barge or whatever would be on display in this giant display, and they would kind of create around the display and build like another diorama around it.
Mm-hmm.
They just threw that damn cantina in a glass shelf, and they just called it good this time. So
yeah,
and there just wasn't they weren't giving a whole lot of stuff away, and it just wasn't really attracting too many crowds. So I don't know. I liked it the way they had it last year a little bit better, maybe, not because they were giving stuff away, but it's just a little more interaction with the people. You could see a lot more of the toys that were coming out and get to see all that stuff. And now they were kind of they pushed away all that and kind of made it just their big Hasbro store with like a big line there. So, I mean, it was okay, but I think last year was a little bit better for them.
Look at the weathering on her helmet. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, they make really nice vintage collection figures. I'm telling you. I mean, every time I find one and I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, I'm always wondering if that's the next line I'm going to collect. But there's so many figures.
There's too many, and the older ones are so expensive. Some of them are really up there in price. You can't start with it.
No, but I really like it. The Cantina looked great, and in general, I think they're putting out some pretty good stuff. I think that they would need to focus on their booth next time.
So, Brandon, what was your
highlight?
Favorite part of the con?
The Alien Romulus panel.
Oh. Did they have the actors there, the writers, or what?
Correct.
Oh, nice.
And the director and the actors.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Got to see a lot of chunks in the movie.
It comes out in August, right?
Yep. Got to get.
I think it comes out on my birthday, actually.
They gave out some face huggers. They got to, we got to. It was fun. It was good.
Nice. Did you get a?
That was my favorite part of the panel. Was getting to see that at Hall H. I didn't wait in line for any of the other stuff. I just went to that panel because that's the only one I wanted to see. So glad I did that. And then the other part was just hanging out, with my dad for some of it, and then with the kids for the other half. So it was good. I had fun.
Nice.
Good.
All right. Well,
of course, you went all 4 days.
Oh God.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days. Wednesday, preview night.
5 days.
Yeah.
Good Lord. What is there to see for 5 days?
Was it something new every day, pretty much?
I saw something new every day.
Yeah.
I see something new every day, too.
You can do it in one day. You can walk the hall one day and see everything. You can't sit through any panels.
Yeah.
It's so congested in there. It's you're nut to butt constantly in line, So there's no. You can't walk the whole. You can walk the whole thing in a day, but you're not sitting through panels. You're not doing the offsites. You're not doing everything else. So if you really want to take a look at everything, it's going to take you a couple days. If you want to do the offsites, do a third day. So 3 days I think it's good to get your fill in.
Was it? Did it seem like there were more people there this year than there were last year?
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday it felt very, very packed. Saturday felt not as packed, and Sunday did not feel as packed either. Usually Saturday and Sunday, or mainly Saturday, is the busiest day.
Yeah. But
this Saturday, for some reason, it just didn't feel as packed. Maybe because I went a little later, and maybe a lot of people were waiting in line for the Marvel panel, where for Robert Downey Jr., Harrison Ford, all that crap. So
yeah,
were you there for that? No.
You didn't see the Fantastic Car floating through the hall and all that stuff.
See that? No, wasn't. I was not waiting on those lines, and I don't really care for that too much. I mean, it's cool. I'll watch the movies, but I'm not gonna, freak out. I'm not like John. If John would be at that panel, like freaking out at every announcement.
I would love to.
Oh my God, it's Great Hulk! Oh my God!
I would have loved.
Oh my God, Savage Hulk! Oh my God,
Savage Hulk!
Fantastic Four teaser trailer for the Fantastic Four movie, the new one. I would love to have been there for that, but yeah. So, do you think it's busier because there's you think there's a renewed interest in this kind of stuff, or
John? This episode is 1 hour already.
Well,
get all of your questions out quickly.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I think there's renewed interest. A, B, the writer's strike was last year, so a lot of these people didn't show up. A lot of the stars didn't show up. A lot of the studios didn't show up. So now they're pumping out all this new stuff. People want to see the new stuff. Blah blah blah. So that's what I think.
They weren't allowed to show up, and a lot of actors were unhappy about that. They had to stick with their union, but they weren't able to promote their own stuff.
That drew. I mean, there was people there anyway. It was busy anyway last year. Regardless, people were people just go to see the stars and all that stuff, and stuff I could care less about. But
well, what I always ask, was there a lot of cosplay girls there?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I like. John, you're a fan of that. Yeah. I mean, you're walking by people anyway. Why not? Yeah. All right. Does that do it?
I'll do it.
That'll do it. Brandon Alamo, a life at San Diego Comic-Con. It's a yearly event for him. He takes a 5-week vacation, 20 minutes away from his house. And
5-day vacation.
Well, what did I say? Weeks?
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah. 5-day vacation, I meant to say. All right. Very good. Thank you very much to everyone for watching the episode. We appreciate you. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment. For any of our viewers out there, did you make it to San Diego Comic-Con? Did you, check it out online?
Hubert Chang did.
Who?
Hubert did.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, Hubert, go ahead. Comment below. Let us know what your favorite part was, and how Brandon treated you in person. How did he smell nice? Things like that. And we will see everyone next time on another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. Bye-bye. Ooh, teeny. Bye, bye, bye.